Today on the Mike O'Mara Show.
You made an offhanded comment the other day where you said you didn't take your meds prior to the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, we should probably get on that, before the show regimen.
We should get on that.
Mike, but your cans were actually made out of a different material because they were rationing for the war.
No, Mike's SpaghettiOs came in a leather bag.
Actually, it was, no, you're both wrong.
A satchel?
Yes.
No, wrong. It was a hollowed out tree stump.
Mike, you're alluding to, I've been on every station, literally. I started at Channel 20, went to Channel 5.
I forgot you worked at
You were the original Captain 20.
No,
You
I
were
was
like
not.
you weren't doing news on Channel
You
20.
always say that. I wasn't doing news on Channel 20. Channel 20
You were
had
doing
no
the
news.
kids' afternoon.
Right.
Have kids news.
Saturday.
All that and more. The Mike O'Mara Show starts now. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show, all the way around the world, on air in the ABC Islands of the Caribbean. Welcome, Maryland, Toledo City, Philippines, Harlem, Georgia, Branford, Connecticut, and Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, the Mike O'Mara Show is on now, and we are very, very excited because an old friend has come by, a friend that I reached out to recently when he got his, if I'm keeping track, his 350th television gig in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
There's a moth!
Mike, I was going to ask
There's a
about the moth. It flew by right before we went on
There's a
air.
moth in here.
That magic
There's a moth in the
CGI.
studio.
Fancy.
We didn't write
It's
a moth
attracted
into
to
the
light.
script.
It's the new lights. Moths
Yes.
love lights. Yeah.
Tony Perkins is here. We'll talk about his TV move soon, which is kind of cool. Tony and I and everybody that patted the halls of American University has a soft spot for this location that Tony is roosted at.
Yes.
You can hear Tony on, the Donnie Simpson Show.
Yes. Number one.
Hey, man. Mike, park my Ferrari. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 7 on Magic 102.3. I've made no secret over the years of my jealousy of Donnie. I have.
Yeah.
He had a more successful, more money, less wives.
That's the one that really gets you.
Yeah, it does.
And a survivor in radio, as is Don, as is Donnie. I don't consider myself a survivor. I had to go to a whole new medium to just exist. I'm going to kill this moth. Wait, hold on a second.
Don't you have
Where is
another iPad you can kill it with?
Not today.
Oh.
Donnie does appreciate your jealousy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It fuels him.
It comes up a lot, does it?
Hey, man. Culminated by me visiting when we were all, I don't know what company, Oscar, and I went over to, I think, Sing for My Supper when they were getting ready to give me the...
Oh, in Lanham, when the headquarters were in Lanham.
In Lanham.
Yeah.
And said, hey, I'll stop in and say hi to Donnie. Said, Donnie can't see you right now. He's getting a haircut. All right.
You see,
So-
Mike, I'm jealous of that.
Wow.
All right. Let me see. You can see Tony on News 4 today every weekday morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. He has returned
Fantastic.
to NBC, Channel 4.
Yes.
First time ever, right? Working at Channel 4.
First time working for Channel 4, yes. Yeah.
And I mean, you have worked for, if anybody wants to know from around the country, as far as a TV anchorman, Tony has worked at Channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But he's here. Channel 4, for those of us that grew up in D.C. and cut our teeth in D.C., is let's be honest with you, the gold standard.
It is.
And it's exciting, the precursor to the Today Show. And congratulations, because I know that for many people in Washington, this is a big deal to go to work for this station.
It is a big deal for me. It is
Is it better than Channel 20? Because I remember when you used to be on Channel 20.
I used to be on Channel 20. And people keep forgetting that. So, Mike, you're alluding to I've been on every station, literally. I started at Channel 20, went to Channel 5.
I forgot you worked at 20.
You were the original Captain 20.
No, I was not.
You weren't doing news on Channel 20.
Always say that. I wasn't doing news on Channel 20. Channel 20
You were doing the kids' afternoon.
Right.
Have kids news.
Saturday. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
So 20?
DC 20 Breakaway, yes.
Yeah.
20,
Channel 5.
Channel 5. I'd never worked at Channel 7, but when I was at Good Morning America, I would be on
That counts.
Yeah, it
Channel
counts.
7.
That counts.
Right.
National
ABC.
television.
Channel 9 for 2.5 years, and now
Right.
Channel 4.
Channel 4.
It's amazing.
And no sign of slowing down. You are going to. I think that's really, really cool. I've always thought of Channel 4, the NBC affiliate, News 4, as it's been for years and years, as being kind of the heritage televition station of Washington, D.C.
It is.
Yes.
With luminaries like Jim Vance, luminaries like George Michael, weather guy Bob Ryan, people that were there.
Doreen Gensler.
Arch.
Gensler.
Yes.
Who recently retired, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture online of Arch Campbell with Doreen Gensler and I think Bob Ryan, and then there was another guy there who looked like he maybe was a suit. I think his name was Jack or something. I don't know, but he didn't look like he was on the Magic Box.
Yeah, maybe not.
So I'm like, why is he there? But anyway.
He helps Art.
Helps Art.
Yes.
Helps
All
Arch.
right, Rob, can you bring the volume level up to me a little, or I can do that?
I'll take
Hold on
it.
just a
And
second.
I know I had mine down.
You want to
Can I-
tick on your headphones?
Yeah,
No
take it up a
worries.
little.
Back to the headphone. Well, quick question, Mike, and maybe you don't
Yes.
get this because you're in Florida living your best life, and we're up here slaying the dragon in the big city, right,
Mike,
Tony?
Looks like Mike. Is my mic on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It looks like Mike stole a glass from Pizza Hut.
It does
Pretty
look
good.
like a Shakey's pizza.
Shakey's,
That's pretty good. That's it. All right. You
Ouch.
could walk into a Pizza Hut tomorrow, and I think Tony is spot on. I have not darkened the door of a Pizza Hut in multiple decades, but I bet it looks just like this.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yes, it does.
As Patton Oswalt, our good friend, would say, a flagon of fluid for me. We're going to set records today in Southwest Florida. We will have a high temperature at the very beginning of April of 94 degrees
Whoa,
today.
jeez.
And
It
I'll
is
be out in it.
early April. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is weird. Well, it's weird weather all over the country right now, but I mean, I will be out in it today. So I just like to say to Tony and everybody listening, this might be it.
Well, you're hydrating clearly.
Yeah.
Last time I was on the golf course, I chewed gum. And because I was chewing gum, I didn't hydrate enough. And about halfway through, it's easy for me to tell if I'm dehydrated because I get a low-grade headache immediately when I'm out there. So this is the kind of stuff you have to be careful in, even when you're acclimated to.
Pace
But I
yourself.
interrupted. I'm sorry. You were saying. I forgot who was saying something.
I was trying to set the table here that you may not know, Mike, that as Tony realized here, because he does consume the product, he does watch and listen to the show, that you have a new set, but you may not know that Tony and News 4 have a brand new, next generation set as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really hard for Oscar and I to do your set and then do Channel 4's
Yeah,
set.
it was difficult.
And I understand if you look at both of them side by side, you can hardly tell the difference.
Hardly tell.
That's right.
Especially with the lighting.
Yes.
With my lighting, where right now, there, I've created the look. Now I look like the murderer from Sin City. That is a really obscure movie reference.
That's spot
I get
on.
it, though. It is.
I love it.
Was it Daniel who played that? Daniel Radcliffe, I think, did. I don't know. It was like a weird guy.
Radcliffe?
I know. Great movie.
I'll pull it
though.
up real quick.
Yeah, thank you.
Great
Oscar.
naughty movie.
Can
Love
I
that
say
movie.
one thing about the new set?
Yeah.
Because I'm thrilled that they have a new set, because when I got the job, I was really nervous because I thought this is a big deal, and like you said, all the greats have been there, Jim Vance, George Michael, all that kind of stuff, and I just felt like this is going to be very intimidating. And then they told me, well, we're debuting a new set, and then the next week you start. And I thought, that's great. It's all new. I don't have to feel
Fresh.
like I'm sitting at that desk with all the big guys sat, and so it helped me.
Like
Good.
a relaunch almost. Yeah.
Right.
It's very, very cool. And Tony's going to be on in the morning and then in the afternoon on the radio. And that schedule, at your, we share a graduation date from American University together, and we also share an age. So, I mean, are you a little long in the tooth to be double dipping like this?
Yes, I am. But I live
Still on your first wife.
Still on my first wife.
Thanks, Oscar. Thanks a lot.
I live in Virginia, and my son is in college at Maryland. So
Yes.
I have an out-of-state tuition to pay.
Okay.
So
And as Tony and I were discussing before the show, going to Maryland when you're a Virginia resident, it's so close.
Right.
It's so close
It's
to getting
painful.
in-state
Right.
tuition.
Go Terps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go Terps.
Yeah.
Well, it's really, really good to see you. It's been a while. I reached out, and I don't know what it is about that station that got me excited, but I hadn't talked to you in a while, and you did an interview with my old radio partner, and I didn't want to have anything to do with you for a while.
Oh, no.
No, that's a joke. That's a
Never forget, Mike. Never forget.
But anyway, now you have also gone through a bit of it with prostate cancer, where you got diagnosed and caught it early.
Yes.
And that's scary for somebody, and it's right around that time.
Yes.
And how are you feeling? How are you doing? How is everything?
Thank you for asking. I feel great. I was diagnosed last year in the midst of leaving Channel 9, and there was some family stuff going on. Last year was a rough year. And when
Do you think Channel 9 has like a Camp Lejeune situation going on? Do you think the water at Channel 9 is what gave you?
That is so messed up. Rob, this man doesn't burn bridges. He builds them.
I'm just checking.
No.
Okay, well, we can close the book on that.
Close the book
We're
on
going to
that.
send a clip to that guy.
Although I am starting to believe that I was at Camp Lejeune at some point because I keep getting emails. Were you at Camp Lejeune? Maybe I was.
Maybe, who knows?
I don't know.
Find out about the water?
Oh, no.
But no, I am doing, we caught it very early. I am actually not getting any treatment right now. We're doing what they call active surveillance. Well, it's not that active. He's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not all the time.
I'm
Sounds
sorry
like it could be
about that.
fun, though.
Yeah.
If you got the right doctor.
Yes.
I will get another biopsy later this year, and then we'll take it from there. It's a little bit of
Well,
cancer.
good.
Slow growing.
F cancer, as we always say on this
Yes.
show. We
Yep.
wish you the very best. Your old pal, for a lot of people that listen to this show, they also listen to the Tony Perkins show when it was on podcast form. And your old buddy, Gary Stein,
Yes.
seems to me, from my sporadic observation of his photographs, is that he's also living a good life. Seems to be happy about his kid and his wife and doing well. Do you keep in touch?
I just talked to Gary a couple of days ago. His wife.
How's he doing?
He's doing great, but he does miss all of this. I mean, virtually every conversation we have,
that's
he
sweet.
talks about, let's get the gang back together and all of that kind of thing. But he's doing well. His wife, Sarah Partridge, jazz singer, just had a sold-out performance Sunday night at a club in New Jersey somewhere. His kids are doing well. So he's doing some real estate. He might be doing some other TV stuff soon.
Cool.
I shouldn't say much about that.
Okay.
But,
All right,
might be
that's
something
good.
going on. Yeah.
So, being in your travels,
Yes.
you have been on the network level. Tony chose to leave the network,
Yes.
and go back to local DC news, and you've been there ever since. And with the multiple, stations that you've worked at, well, I should probably just get right to the question. Are you a malcontent, Tony? Is that what it is?
Let's see which stations would say I am.
Can I give you my perspective? And
You sure can,
I said this
Oscar,
from a
'cause
management side.
Nobody picks a scab
Thank
like you do.
The time and experience I've had with Tony Perkins, the talent, not the friend, the actual talent, is that, and it speaks volumes of Tony's talent, that he can literally say, as my mom would say, I'm not happy, and then walk away and then call his shot just a few months later when the non-compete's over. It is complete. I've never seen a talent like this before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's the goods, and
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a good pedigree, and the common thread though is your relationship with Donnie. That where you started out on Nebraska Avenue. That's, by the way, in Washington, D.C., where Channel 4 is. And that's where the old WKYS, one of the original great urban stations, as they used to be called.
Right.
And it was, I remember at American University listening to WKYS when Donnie was already on the radio. And you had, let me see if I've got it right. It was Donnie Simpson. Then you had Chuck. What was his name?
Davis.
Chuck
Nice.
Davis.
Chuck Davis.
You had Jeff Leonard. Those were the big. Those were the big three.
Right.
And they had a cool to them that was just. As I mentioned the other day when we were talking to Dude Walker, I said there was a coolness that made me want to get into this business, and it's just so fun to be around. And in Donnie's case. Donnie's been cool forever.
Yeah.
And he was cool. He's been cool on the radio, and he's been cool on BET, and he's been cool. And it's just this KYS. That's, we always talk about stations that'll never be the same. We talk about Don and I when we had our days at WAVA. There'll never be another DC radio station. There'll never be a station like WKYS.
Right.
And it's just got to be kind of your solid connective tissue to the market.
Absolutely. That's right. And we were all fortunate, all of us here, because we got to be in radio when it was just the bomb, as they say now. It was exciting. It was fun. We were talking the other day about breaking records, and I mean, getting a copy of the new Earth, Wind, and Fire or Stevie Wonder album, right? Yeah. And playing it on the air, and getting the cease and desist letters from the record company, and all that. I mean, there used to be so much fun to all of it. You guys at WAVA, us at KISS, that is a real love for me. It is kind of the foundation for everything else that I've done, because I was working with Donnie at KYS before the TV stuff came along. It was during that time that came along. So,
and that's the heyday, right, of Donnie's show back on KYS,
absolutely
where you had luminaries walk through that door on a regular basis, right?
We had Janet Jackson come into the studio, a radio studio, for an interview.
Yeah, they used to come into local radio studios. Right. That doesn't happen anymore.
Right, yeah. So it was big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was super cool back then to be on the radio. As far as television, this is my not being in the business. I've always observed, to me, that the business of television is always has it always been the same? It's always been a very fickle, kind of tough biz, has it not?
I would agree with that, yeah. But, not too unlike radio. It's similar in that way.
Right.
I've been on the I've been very fortunate, because I have worked at all these different places. I've had very good experiences. The people that I've worked for, the people that I've worked with, some of the best in the business. And so my view might be a little bit different than some other people's views. I've had a good time doing it. Do
you think you stay? Because no, that's not true with television, because there are anchors that have been on and on and on and had long, illustrious careers and do that. But in many markets around the country, you get what is called the youth movement, where they infuse with. Do you feel sometimes that you have to be fleet of foot to kind of be the new kid on the block, or you like being the new kid on the block?
That's a good question. I think for me, I just do me. Donnie says this all the time about himself. I'm just me. I'm not really going to change to be this fresh-faced young thing, whatever. Being the new it's funny because being at Channel 4, all right, I'm the new one there. I'm the rookie there. But as we've acknowledged in all the promotion and, the announcement when I got there, everybody knows me. I've been around forever,
Yeah, you've been in the market for a long time.
Right.
Well, I'm going to ask you can I ask you some TV news questions?
Sure, yeah.
What is the toughest thing? Because people think in terms of, people don't do deep dives and deep thoughts on that job, that actual day-to-day grind of doing it. You've worked not only at a lot of different television stations, you worked at all the day parts.
Yes.
What is if you could say, if you want to become a television anchor, what is the toughest thing to do as an anchor? What do you have to deal with that is, in your opinion, the highest degree of difficulty? Because I would think it wouldn't be, that tough. It's a prompter. Read it.
Oh, my.
Well, listen. You have to know here's the thing about if you want to be an anchor, because I think a lot of people now see that role and go, oh, that's what I want to do. And I want to interview Oprah and I want to do this and that. But there's a lot that goes to it. You have to know what's going on in the world. You have to have an interest in what's going on in the world. You have to have a natural curiosity.
Engagement.
Engagement, yes. All of that kind of stuff, because you will draw on all of that. You have to be flexible. Because I think I always compare, I used to do stand-up comedy, as you know, all of you.
Yes.
I saw you do stand-up.
Yeah, right. And I was a professional comedian for 9 years, and I wound up in the TV news business, which, many people feel is odd, and it is in some ways. But I always tell people my training in comedy really did prepare me for TV news. What does a comedian do? My type of comedy was topical humor. A lot of it was. You go out you prepare a set list, a legal pad. I would write my jokes out or routines, whatever.
Right.
That's like the rundown of a news show. You go out, you start to perform it based on what's happening with the audience. You are in your head shifting that around. I'm not going to do this bit. I'm going to move this one up. I think I'm going to close with this. And you're making it look, the audience can't tell that. But in your mind, you're shifting things around and all that kind of stuff. But what comes out is a coherent, hopefully, routine. TV news, the same thing. We go in with a plan. Here's what the show is. As soon as the show starts, things start to change. The reporter's not at the live shot yet. This story just changed. We're dropping this down for whatever reason. And you have to present it like that's not going on. You have to have composure and have this make sense for people. So it's the same type of thing, really. I also think, I just want to say real quick, I think an anchor earns their money. We do what we do every day, and there's a lot involved in that. You got to make sure the stories are right and, all of that. You're kind of the managing editor in a way also of the show. In fact, that's what they call the network anchors. But you earn your money when there's live breaking news, the stuff is hitting the fan, and you have to...
That's the real deal.
That's the real deal, and you have to make sense of all of that and put it in context for people as it's happening. And I think
deliver it with confidence.
Katie Tur, another NBC person, Katie wrote a book, and I remember reading in her book, this does not apply to you in the studio, but she would talk about camera readiness and being ready to go on camera, and she would be talking about being ready to go on Morning Joe at 6 a.m. And they'd let her know at 3:30 in the morning, or she'd be out in the field, and she would say that was the challenge. I've always wondered about that aspect of things. You just don't. There's no gray area. When that light comes on, you have to kind of be ready, and that to me would probably be the biggest challenge for me.
Well,
where I just wouldn't want to be presentable.
It's still it's a challenge for me sometimes. Pardon me, in that your mind plays tricks on you, and your mind is always there's a voice in your head that's trying to undermine you all the time, at least with me. And so there are times where, like, I'll be standing there and the other anchor is doing something, and I know that they're getting to the end of their piece and about to come to me. And that voice in my head will sometimes say, "Get ready. Here they come. The camera's going to be on you." And, you start to get nervous and sweat a little bit and all that.
Right.
So that can be a challenge sometimes.
I have a question. I don't know if you watched the show on HBO, Succession.
Yes.
And on this most recent episode, the girlfriend of the patriarch of the family is trying to become an anchor.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yes,
it's sort of a great in-joke at how bad her audition tape is.
Well,
right?
also the smiling at the wrong time.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask.
Beautiful.
What about how hard is it? How much of your job is being able to do smooth and appropriate tonal shifts in your read?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Because, they will stack happy
Ron
news.
Burgundy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And so how do you handle that? What is your go-to and how tough is it?
I look ahead on the rundown and on my scripts so I know what's coming. However, if something changes, literally I've been doing this so long, like, yes, we will be doing, hey, and you know what? McDonald's is bringing back the Big Mac, whatever it is.
McRib.
The McRib. Yeah, thank you. The McRib. And then you do that. Oh, isn't that great? I haven't had a McRib in ages. Okay. Well, coming up. And then as the teleprompter starts to go up you see more on the murder of blah, 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 you just have to, you make it as quickly and as smoothly
that's why
as you can.
I should have been in TV news, because if you had a segue like that, I would be like, hey, the Big Mac's coming back to McDonald's, and we'll have that information. And somebody who won't be eating a McDonald's burger anytime soon. That'll be a problem for them. As far as the idea of getting back on Channel 4, I know you are excited about that. And who is your partner going to be? Who are you going to be working with?
What is the layout schedule?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am, News for Today, like you said, it's the show that precedes the Today Show. The morning TV has really become the most critical news time for TV stations.
They put lots of resources
And that's because it's the only time slot that has been growing over the last several years. The other slots have been losing viewers here, here and there. So the show starts at 4 a.m., goes until 7 a.m. I join at 5 a.m. because of the radio gig. They understand, I'm on the air till 7 p.m. in the evening.
Right.
It's kind of tough. So I come on at 5 a.m.
Tony has a good agent. Sorry.
Mr. Perkins likes the number 5 as opposed to number 4.
There is
That's right.
a certain amount of sleep that we'd like to write in.
This is Tony's agent from New York. T-Perk requests a curly number. Thank you very much.
You win. A curly number. Is great.
We use that as a golf term. There you go.
I like that. That's good.
But it's a big production. I know that. They do it down here in the small market of Fort Myers, where they're like, I was watching it today before the Today Show. Maybe I turned it on NBC, to see. They got 30 people everywhere. They got meteorologists helping meteorologists.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I'm on from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. with Jumi Olabanji. She had been co-anchoring. And so here's what happened.
Look that up. Give me a second.
Okay. This legacy.
At least he's subtle.
Right. Yes, that's right. This legacy station is so renowned and so great that people work there and retire from there after 40 years.
Right.
Or unfortunately, a couple of people have passed. Our good friend Wendy Rieger, who was a sweetheart, Mike and I went to school with. She'd been there for 40 years, I think, and passed away last year. So Pat Lawson-Muse, who is an afternoon anchor, retired after 41 years. So they moved Un Yang, who was co-anchoring in the morning, to the afternoons.
Right.
That opened a spot in the mornings, and they brought me in.
Okay.
So,
and a lot of people that have pretty good track records there that have been in the market that I remember from my days there, and that's cool. And
I'm just briefly. I'm fascinated. It's never hit me. We get to see the Nielsen ratings and Arbitron ratings or whatever. And I've never thought about with TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and streaming and podcasts, that even to this day, the first thing I do when I wake up is turn on the TV.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's replaced what radio used to be.
Right.
Because you used to wake up to your radio show, right?
My mind has been blown, especially, I was in an Uber this morning on the way to physical therapy, and my only gauge outside of what I see in the Washington Business Journal, and I like asking the drivers, I'm like, hey, what's business like? And she turns around at the red light and she says, worse than ever before for people driving into the city, coming into work in the city, right?
Yes, yeah.
So the probability of someone not listening to the radio in the and watching the news,
because we're going to tell you,
and it's right there at home.
And I get having a legitimate news person on the show this morning, I get the overwhelming sense that we are on the precipice, and not necessarily in a really good way, of very interesting times. And if you thought they they weren't, interesting before. I don't know what you're thinking, but they're going to get even more crazy. I really feel that way. I feel like it's nuts.
I feel that way too, and I feel that everything that's happened during the last 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it's been, is like the precursor. I mean, we're in it now, but there are going to be ramifications for everything that's going on for decades and decades and decades to come.
Yeah, and they're just interesting times when you see a former sitting president, booked in a Manhattan courthouse. It's just a weird world.
Mike, there is actually an Asian curse that is, may you live in interesting times. That is, on the surface, that sounds like, hey, thanks for the wishes, but not really. Yeah. If it's more interesting, it's very complicated. I actually
completely disagree with you guys. Things are looking up.
Really? You
no,
think so?
Not at all.
I was going to say, do you ever listen to your Uber driver?
As far as
I was watching the nightly news. I'm like, oh, things are just going to get worse.
No, I mean, I am somebody who fancies himself a news junkie.
Yeah.
And I turned it on yesterday, and as soon as the talking heads started the commentary, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the analysis. Yeah. I couldn't stand the whether or not or this is going to go away.
Well, it's historic, though, right? Like, what are you going to do?
It's historic, but what it seems to me more and more as these stories are covered, it just seems to me we are no longer reporting the news. We are covering a sporting event.
That's what this 24-hour news cycle has created. And that's why you get things like, Fox News Channel, which, does conservative slanted news during the day and then straight up, commentary, like crazy stuff.
Propaganda.
Yeah. Right. But, from their point, some of us watch it and go, what are you doing? This is terrible. You're
Let's call it
democracy.
Lies.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Right. But from their point of view, you know what? This is entertainment. People are watching it.
Yeah.
The ratings are good.
It sells. Yeah.
It sells, unfortunately. And I'm with you. Yesterday, all I really wanted to see was the events. Him going in, the
charges, what's the story.
The rest of it it's like sports talk radio.
Yeah, it's like analyzing the upcoming NFL
Marjorie
draft.
Taylor Greene at the courthouse was
kind of got overwhelmed, right?
Well, it was like sending your stunt guy from the radio station down to the
Danger Boy
or Danger Girl to be like, hey, can you call in from the front of the courthouse?
Yeah,
we'll make a bit out of it. I was like,
that
what
part
is
I only saw briefly, but did she
5 minutes? They told her to get the hell out.
She got overwhelmed,
right?
We
gotta get them out. Yeah, we don't need
this. It's amazing when you flip through the grid on DirecTV and there's actually a pre-programmed, promised 3-hour program called The Arraignment of Trump. That's actually in your grid. It's not called news.
Right.
It is like they've produced it like a show.
Right, but I didn't, guys. You make a great point when you say it's not being reported as news because it's just a byproduct of today's and what I think our human condition is allowing for and rewarding for ratings. Yeah. But I think if you look at it from the perspective of history, news, coverage, like our politicians aren't treating it like this is a sad time in our history, right?
Well, I mean, some of the politicians have bought into it.
Yeah.
We have said for years, as long as I've been an adult and following this, that we are in, it would be really tough for anybody in their right mind, you've heard that would run for political office. Mm-hmm. Now I go a step further. I think you have to be broken as much as a morning DJ to want to do that, to want to put yourself. If you want to know why we get people that are out there, outside of, by the way, the 85-year-old people that are so grizzled and so immune to this business, the newbies that get in there, there's a reason we have wingnuts that are walking the halls of Congress, because you have to be that it's going to be beyond sordid and beyond go for the jugular. It's a terrible climate. I mean, I'm old enough to remember, and so is Tony, that there was a time where you had, I'll give you a great example, all right? Richard Nixon, who goes down in history as one of the most controversial and sad presidencies in modern history.
Very sad.
But Richard Nixon, intellectually, had credentials. He had credentials. And then, you would even before that, you would have right against left, Republican against Democrat, and there would be more ideas. Whereas now, it doesn't happen. It's crazy.
No ideas. Richard Nixon, and that was that period in our history. A lot came out of that period, and it was tough and all of that kind of thing. Yeah. But Richard Nixon was a very smart man. Now, not smart in how he handled the Watergate break-in.
No, the paranoia got the best of his intellect.
Exactly. But he was a serious person. That's what I want to say.
And it just, to this day, I am sitting there saying, how could anyone? Now, I suppose if you are someone who has such amazing belief in yourself and you feel like you can withstand anything they throw at you. But right now, I think we're at a time right now where you are going to get less and less of quality human beings that would want to throw themselves into this mosh pit of politics today. I think it would be crazy.
And that's sad. That's sad because people used to do this because they did want to make change and
make a
wanted to do something, make a difference. Now it's like a big sideshow.
So get ready because the sideshow is going to keep on going. Yeah. Tony, thank you for your time. We wish you nothing but the best of luck over at Channel 4.
Thank you.
News for everybody.
Can we come visit?
No. When the set is done.
That was very
It's
awkward.
Nebraska.
That was exactly what would happen when I say to Oscar, can I come to Podville Media?
Make that a meme.
I was interviewed by the aforementioned Pat Lawson Muse years ago.
Oh, yes.
Right? I went down that hallway, and it was everything they did. They did everything but cuff me to get me into that building. Tony will tell you the truth. That is a tightly run, secure little environment.
Desk. Even more so now. Yes,
I bet it is.
Absolutely right.
I bet it is. Gone are the days where Willard would be just literally on Nebraska Avenue. Waving at cars going by.
Don't
Look
do
at
that
me.
anymore.
Tony's on News 4 today, 5 to 7 in the morning, and you can hear him on The Donnie Simpson Show. Hey, man. Hold on, let me turn my mic, because Donnie's got a better place, right?
He's very deep.
Hey, it's The Donnie Simpson Show.
That's good.
How are you, man? Yeah, it's great. Hey, Mike O'Mara. All right. Waiting for Medicare. Yeah. Tony, God bless you. Don't be a stranger.
God bless you. I love you guys.
Good luck at NBC, and we will take a break and come back with our version, which is pales in comparison to the news you see on regular TV. We got just a stupid bunch of stories coming up next right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Whoa, whoa.
It's the social event of 2023. TMS Live and the Big Easy
at the House of Blues. That's coming up on April 15th.
You've made all the plans to get there. Now find out what there is to do.
We're going to be hanging out with people and having a fantastic time.
P-A-R-T. Why? Because I got it.
And if you're looking for things to do, check out the TMS Live and the Big Easy page on Facebook.
How delightful.
See and be seen with some of your favorite P1s.
Dan O'Brien is coming. O'Brien.
Find out where Steve Kelsey will be passing out loofahs.
Your basic high school orgy type of thing.
And make your reservation for the seance in Rick Schofield's room.
When me and the Spirit get together, we like to party all night.
The TMS Live and the Big Easy page on Facebook. Your one-stop shop to plan for a weekend you'll never forget.
We're as excited as you all are. It's going to be great. Hey, that was ending quickly. There's no better way to get outside and enjoy the spring season than with electric e-bike. Oh, we love them. Experience the freedom of the great outdoors. You are going to love it. Fun, fast, foldable electric e-bikes during their Ready, Set Spring Sale. From quick store trips to outdoor adventures, electric e-bikes are a mode of transportation that anyone can ride. And with feature-filled models financed as low as $73 per month, it won't cost you a fortune. They include a powerful removable battery, a bright LCD display, 7-speed gearing, and 5 levels of pedal assist to power your ride. Plus, you can lower your gas costs and reduce your carbon footprint. Be a good guy like Oscar. He's all over town,
Good guy.
and he loves it. Plus, no parking fees. Start your next adventure with electric e-bikes. Ready, Set, Spring Sale. Visit lectricebikes.com to learn more and explore the new Expedition Cargo e-bike and all of the other epic models Lectric has to offer. That's LECTRIC ebikes.com.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is the homepage.
Yes. This just in.
Yes.
On his exit, Tony imperatively told me to tell you he loves you.
Oh, love him right back. We've known each other since we were babies at American University. That's how far back we go.
Good guy.
1980.
Wow.
1980, 81. That era. That's how far back we go.
I was 9.
So old.
I was 9.
So did Oscar just figure that he'd see Tony out and come back sometime later on this afternoon?
Mike, there's a lot of construction going on in our building, and I think he's probably walking him down to the lobby because it is rather a labyrinth. But
all right.
He'll be back shortly.
Let me start with Jennifer Lopez.
Please.
I don't know why I lead with certain stories, but, well, I like booze. She unveiled her new cocktail brand yesterday. It's called DeLola, and there are 3 varieties. Bella Berry is made with vodka. Paloma Rose has tequila in it, and L'Orange has an Amaro base. I love Amaro.
What is Amaro?
It's a orange liqueur.
Okay,
And,
all right.
Ladies, when they're going out and they're having their little brunches, like what's known as the Amaretto, the Amaro Spritz.
Oh, okay. Very good.
My nephew's wife busted those out up in Maine a couple of years ago, and they're just yummy nummy. They're not too expensive either. $23.
What?
For a 750 milliliter bottle, and $13 for 375 milliliter. Well, I'm not metric, so what the hell is
$7.50 is your standard, like a bottle of Crown. You know, like,
so it's a booze bottle.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay. They'll be available later on this month. J-Lo says, quote, I'm not a huge alcohol drinker, so it needed to be something that was really pleasant tasting. I love the idea of creating something a little more healthy. That's good, too. People want that. A little bit more to my taste with kind of healthier ingredients and being gluten-free. So that's J-Lo. Way to go, J-Lo.
Something tells me it's not all that healthy.
You never know. You never know. And if it's too healthy, you can always put more booze in it.
I would.
You know your aggressive uncle who's always calling you a snowflake and railing against liberal cancel culture?
Yeah.
You might want to check on him this morning. It's entirely possible that he is super triggered. He's triggered by and trying to cancel Bud Light. Let me tell you why.
Oh.
It's all because Bud Light did a promotion with a trans activist named Dylan Mulvaney. They even made a custom can with her face on it. That resulted in a flood of videos on social media of people trashing cases of Bud Light. There we are. There we are. There's no hatred in America. There we are. Kid Rock took it even further.
Such a good guy.
Such a nice human. He blew away several cases with a rifle. It's amazing how everything Kid Rock does these days feels like a parody of himself. This video is no different. He says, quote, Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all of you and be as clear and concise as possible. Then he lets the bullets fly, turns to the camera, flips the bird, and says, quote, F Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day. So there we are.
Well, you should shoot Bud Light because it's a lousy beer.
No,
stop
no
that.
need for that.
No, stop.
How would you know these days?
Well, I have memories. Memories.
I don't know how recent those are. Anyway, Whoopi Goldberg has been known to get gassy on The View from time to time, but not every suspicious noise is a butt biscuit. Sometimes the lady's coffee mugs make a rumbling sound when they slide across the table that simulates flatulence. Well, we've all been there. Where, like, you might have your leg on a leather recliner or a piece of vinyl, and it makes a
what we
racket.
call a behar.
Whoopi even revealed during a show, quote, we get blamed for dropping gas when, in fact, it's a cup. Lee, I hope it's not a cheese cup. Do you know what a cheese cup is, Oscar?
No, what's a cheese cup?
It's when you fart into your hand and you cover somebody's face with it. It's called a cheese cup. Yeah, it's nasty.
I learned that this morning on News 4.
Gross.
Anyway, luckily, a solution has been found. They've been using coasters since late March. So now if it sounds like a fart, well, maybe it could still be the chair.
Well, I think the coasters because Michael Gelman didn't want his furniture scuffed.
Well, is he
I think he produces The View now, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I'll have to check.
I never knew he produced The View. I didn't know that.
I thought he did for some reason.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of farts, egg prices are still high, so some families may be thinking twice about wasting several cartons for Easter egg coloring. And now there may be a cheaper alternative. Potatoes, as Conan O'Brien would say. Potatoes. Hi there. Hey, celebrate Easter with potatoes. Potatoes USA is trying to take advantage of price gouging on the part of eggs by hyping potatoes as a replacement.
What?
And supposedly people are actually giving it a shot. Some blogs suggest traditional paint for potatoes instead of dyes. Yeah, go down to your local Sherwin-Williams store. And, well, they're suggesting you switch eggs to potatoes. Others are using edible paint and water-based food coloring so the potatoes can be dyed and eaten. This is gross.
Do you peel them and then dye them?
Do I look like somebody who would pursue this any further than this superficial story I have in my hands?
I like carbs.
This is more of a stunt for laughs than actual hack. For starters, a dozen potatoes might not even be the cheaper than carton of eggs alternative, especially the smooth gold potatoes that are best for the color and designs because they're expensive. And even if they are, it's $1 or $2, so cheaper. So unless you're coloring on I hate this story.
Some clarification.
It's just so poorly written.
Gelman is the executive producer of Live with Kelly and Ryan. That's the only show he executive
Where
produces.
did you, in your addled brain, come up with that? Just
I don't
out of
know.
curiosity.
I have no idea. For some reason, I thought he went over there when Regis left, but he did not.
No, he still produces the Live with
Strahan
Kelly.
and Ryan and now Consuelos.
Yeah, you know what he is? He is a survivor.
Yeah, very good. This grossed me out even more.
Than eggs?
Campbell's is teaming up with the makers of Frank's Red Hot and will start selling spicy SpaghettiOs. So normal SpaghettiOs with hot sauce mixed in.
Ooh. That doesn't sound disgusting to me.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Their target market isn't kids, it's adults.
Yes, hi.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in the infantilization of America, of course. Specifically millennials who grew up eating SpaghettiOs. Yeah. SpaghettiOs were around when I was a kid, too.
Yeah.
It's not just millennials. The difference between me and millennials is millennials are still eating them.
Mike,
because they're stunted.
Let me tell you this. SpaghettiOs.
Thanks.
Mike, but your cans were actually made out of a different material because they were rationing for the war.
No, Mike's SpaghettiOs came in a leather bag.
Actually, it was, no, you're both wrong.
A satchel?
Yes.
No, wrong. It was a hollowed out tree stump. According to their press release, millennials buy over a third of all the SpaghettiOs sold each year. I mean, really.
I'm not a big SpaghettiO guy.
Idiots.
Yeah.
We're idiots. My parents would never buy me SpaghettiOs, and I was always jealous.
But the Chef Boyardee canned ravioli, now you're talking.
I haven't had that.
That's good.
It's nasty. Half of adults 35 and under who still eat them said they have canned pasta at least once a week.
Wow. You know where you could buy SpaghettiOs?
Where's that?
Whole Foods.
No.
That's the
a
whole thing.
Oh, sorry. I'm an idiot.
Look who enjoyed that joke. One guy. The spicy version.
That it pissed you off.
I'm not a grocery store guy.
The spicy
I'm
version
sorry.
hits store shelves nationwide this month. So there's that.
That's excellent.
And now a little something something. A 43-year-old woman from Maine called 911 and reported she had been charged at by a cow. Or the proper English would be charged by a cow.
Yeah.
Farmington, Maine police say the woman told them she was about to begin her daily jog when she saw a cow coming towards her. She said she was actually lifted off the ground by the cow's horns and was then able to escape into some nearby trees. The woman was okay, except for a gash that needed stitches. The cow's owner was contacted and secured the animal along with a pig that had also escaped. The matter was forwarded to the district attorney for review. Serious business. The owner told police, and I quote, "If you see a cow coming toward you, freeze. If you start to run, all you do is agitate it and make a charge. What I do is roll yourself up in a tiny little ball and make yourself as small as possible. Cows have mediocre eyesight, and she'll probably run right past you. If you wave your arms around and get all fussy, you'll just make the heifer angrier, and you could end up with a nasty boo-boo. Thank you very much." Yes,
then he ate SpaghettiOs?
Yeah. And where are my SpaghettiOs with the Frank's Red Hot? Yes, sirree. Get me my millennials. Let's do it right now. Hey, we will be back with something. I have no idea what, but you have the pleasure of listening to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. And I'm waiting for the end of the sounder because I felt like it this time.
Everyone is excited about the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi there, this is Jim Amato, and I'm loving the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
This is Robin Ferguson.
This is Stephanie Larson.
This is Doug, and I'm loving the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Check it out. New lights, new set, new video, and a brand new look that everybody loves.
Hi, this is Jolene.
This is Sharon Bailey.
Hi, this is Steve Kelsey, and I am loving the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
We're always working to make the show better for you, so check out the new look on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and the Gram.
Hi, this is Dirk Vastrick.
Hi, this is Linda Hurt, and I am loving the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Everyone is excited about the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey, this is Matt Bloom. I love the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show. It's great.
Great job. Thanks, Pony. I think you really sold it. But make sure to check out the new look of the Mike O'Mara Show on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
It's over. KiwiCo is defining the nature of play. Let me ask a question to Pony. Did you see the thread where people were asking how long you could take it?
Yeah, I think people are wonderful. I love all of our fans.
We'll get back to that in a minute. KiwiCo is defining the future of play by making it engaging, enriching, and seriously fun.
Yes, KiwiCo.
Yay.
They create super cool hands-on projects designed to create a lifelong love for learning. I love this show. Among kids. Each month, KiwiCo delivers crates packed with fun and sparks creativity with kid-friendly topics and activities. From engineering robots to learning about the science of cooking, there are interesting topics for every kid and real hands-on skills to explore. Discover subscription lines for infants and preschoolers all the way up to teens and beyond. To infinity and beyond. The moment of pride and accomplishment at the end of a KiwiCo project sparks creative confidence for the ongoing experimentation. KiwiCo does the legwork for you so you can spend quality time tackling projects together. Plus, there's no commitment. Pause or cancel anytime. Redefine learning and do it with play. Explore hands-on projects that build creative confidence and problem-solving skills with KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month's free. Get 50% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line. Let me go back and read that the right way, okay? All right. Get 50% off your first month, plus free shipping on any crate line at kiwico.com/TMOS. That's 50% off your first month at kiwico.com/TMOS. Yes, there was one of those threads again. I'm going to mention it because it upset me. It upset me greatly.
Don't let it upset you.
No, don't get to it.
Sorry.
Don't let it get to you.
I know you don't want me to talk, but they love it. You know they
I
love it.
don't want you to talk about it. This is your show.
I mean, it's your show
You
too.
get to
but
do what you want.
But I just thought I would.
I saw, just for those of you TMOSaholics that think this is a bit, it is not. Every time we ask Pony to leave a little later than usual, but this is what I mean. Like
we don't need to reattack him.
I'm not attacking him.
He's just setting the table.
I'm setting the table.
Don't yell at me either.
I'm setting at the table. Right. Yell at me.
Okay.
If it's after 5 o'clock, it's a no-go. Now,
right.
Some may ask questions, like Mr. Dan O'Brien asked me. He goes, "How come Pony just leaves, and then even though the team's here, and he looked at me like just a little boy,
yeah,
trying to understand the ways
almost
of the world.
like an Instagram filter on his eyes.
Yeah, what? I mean, I don't understand. And I said, Dan, Matt, as long as I've known him, has marched to the beat of his own drum. And as I explained to Matt, I was like, you are on salary, son, which means we work as best as we can. I don't think we push you too much. We're good to go. Thanks for making the extra effort. Matt is on an hourly wage for Podville, and he could make more if he stayed longer, and he could hypothetically have a full-time job on top of his other full-time job with benefits if he, applied himself a little more. But his priorities are not my priorities. They're his priorities. His priorities are his friends, by the way, which I don't begrudge, his family, which I don't begrudge, and, just the overall, what I want to do is what I want to do.
The thread that I'm referring to comes from Ian. I'll just call him Ian.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's Ian or Ian.
It's Scottish for John. Did you know that?
And the thanks.
Mm-hmm.
The thread starts. I don't know how much longer Pony is going to be able to take it. This is what we reference all the time.
Did you see the other comment? Because there's another comment that said, what do you expect him to be on call 24/7? And and this is when I start engaging. There's a draft right now in my phone, Mike.
I haven't responded
explaining that this guy is not on call 24/7. As you can tell from the show, he does what he wants. And, when you guys don't answer me the majority of the time, I don't get frustrated. But if our website is down, that's an issue.
All right. And you're all in on it.
Yeah, I'm all in, but I'm the monster.
I'm trying to find some of the other. I don't want to write. I don't want to read the things that are nice to us. They're not nice to us. None of it's nice.
Never. I mean,
it's all that we're
easy
picking
to hate
on
us.
people.
Yes,
of course it is. Let me see. I wonder when I read these if and there's a big discussion on whether this is shtick or not.
No,
this is not shtick.
This is our,
and by the
lives.
way, somebody said that we'll backtrack on it. We backtrack occasionally, but I think we apologize more than we backtrack.
Yeah. I think we apologize too much.
I will. Thank you, Oscar. I will apologize more than but I won't backtrack and say, "Hey, we're just kidding." No. I don't think we do that.
I will. Let me clarify that iPad.
I think
that
when we're
Mike
pissed off
yesterday,
in here, it's legitimately pissed off.
Yeah. That iPad that Mike smashed yesterday. That iPad. I'll apologize for my volume being up on my computer. I've done this before. The iPad that Mike smashed yesterday. If anybody had any glean of like what we've been dealing with, that iPad has been a problem for the better part of 3 years.
Yep.
Mike could have spent, he could have upgraded his iPad for $1,500. He chose not to.
Don't like the technology.
Yeah, we've been holding off forever. When I was down there, I wanted to smash that iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So peek behind the curtain. This guy's not just raging out. It was time.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, the environment that we are in here and the reason now I want to, this is a nuanced issue.
Yes.
But I know a lot of people get mad at you and mad at me.
I love Matt.
When we get mad at Pony or Rob, a lot of the listeners don't like it.
No.
But I want to be clear about something. When we fly off the handle, this is really, really, it's not all that complex, but I think it deserves an explanation.
All right.
Usually when that happens, it is motivated from something behind the scenes that was
precipitated,
really sticking in my craw or Oscar's craw. And the difference is that when we do that, at least the way I perceive it, I'm doing it a lot of times because I really don't want to do it off air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what you're hearing is not shtick. So call me a monster. It is doing it loud and obnoxious because I know I can get away with that here. That might be making me more of a monster, but I don't care. I want the guys because I know that if I do that on the air, they're going to understand it.
That it's serious.
And my cover is doing it on the air because, I'm kind of playing a role in here.
Yeah.
And I do
that. Well, you're
that.
also unhinged.
I am unhinged, and it's been documented. I mean, you brought it up when you came back But thank you. And then, by the way, if you added up the ball busting,
yes,
there's plenty to go
and we
around.
all get it. Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
There's no backtracking here. It's not fun to come in here and talk about the great things we've done. Right?
No, it's boring.
That's boring. Well,
it's boring.
Matt and I have worked together for the better part of 20 years. Do you think if there was an issue with him leaving at 5 that was so detrimental to the business or the core of what we do here on the show that we would stand the test of times, not just as friends, but as, co-workers and colleagues? No.
All right, let me answer a specific comment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From our friend Barb Moody, who writes,
"Hi, Barb.
Hey, Barb.
I understand it is part shtick, and no, it's really not. It might be entertaining to some people, but we're having a legitimate, argument, or we're having a legitimate rant here about something that we'd like to fix most of the time. Is it shticky sometimes? Was the iPad destruction shticky? Yeah, but I was getting rid of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah,
there's the curtain coming back. I understand it's part shtick, and sometimes there are issues that need fixing, but I do think it sometimes crosses the line. Pony is a big part of the show. If you're talking about on-air contributions to the show, he is not a big part of the show. If you're talking about behind the scenes,
of course,
he is an integral part
absolutely.
of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes because of the lack of communication, as I said before, and I'll cop to this, I do it because I don't want to do it off air. And I feel like I can make my point better on the air. That is just the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably not the best thing in the world.
Well, it's not effective.
I do it anyway.
Because the same thing happens over and over and over and over.
No, I believe the same thing happens because it's like parenting an adolescent. Yeah. If you're yelling and screaming all the time, the people become desensitized to
I've been sweet off air, and it still happens.
Well, yeah, but you also are mean on air,
like a
and
Sour
mean
Patch
off air.
Kid.
Like I am mean on air and mean off air. If we change that and we implemented the, hey, I've got a concern on it, that would have no
effect,
value whatsoever. People would be bored out of their minds. So people might say, well, then, Mike, the solution would be to deal with all issues in-house. Well, then that makes us like every other show where we're doing things and we're the Today Show and we're all grinning while we're going crazy. What I would pray for by the two individuals we're talking about. We're talking, let me make no mistake about it, we're talking about all of us. Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana, Matt Bloom, and Mike O'Mara. I would wish for greater communication from everybody on the show. We don't.
No.
We communicate hot and fast on this show. We don't communicate enough, especially about problems behind the scenes.
Or just
we don't.
How about this?
We don't like
Let's
to.
Just be
do you like to communicate with me, Rob Spiewak, off air?
No, because we are
Pony,
not.
You don't need to go on.
All right.
Pony Bloom, do you like to communicate with me on the? I know the answer to this.
Say it.
No,
Pony Boy, do you like to communicate with me off air?
Definitely not. And I think what you're saying is fair.
Yeah.
Do I like to communicate with either one of you guys? No. Oscar, do you like to communicate with me off the air?
No, I don't mind it. You mind it, but
I don't like it. I don't do it. But you don't.
I called you back on the phone yesterday. By the way,
that's probably honest.
Yeah.
That's probably honest with that.
I'm a chatty Cathy.
Sometimes I lay it out here.
Yeah.
Because through my own dysfunction, I don't like to do it behind the scenes.
There's also a level of efficiency.
Does it border on abusive behavior?
No.
Yeah, probably. It's probably not the way you want to talk to somebody at IBM.
But it's a different environment. It's a different environment in IBM. This is the environment that we chose to build.
I understand.
We're
and
a morning
at the same
zoo.
time,
and
at the same time,
it
comes. I have to say this.
Or on
comes
demand.
out of. Stop it.
Sorry.
It comes out of legitimate frustration most of the time. It really, really does.
Yeah.
And it should be pointed out that we are small, and because we are small, we have each other.
Yeah.
And
that's all we have.
I think we like the product, and we are all happy when something goes well for the product.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But I also think that sometimes when we are frustrated, people want to hide from the problems. And it drives me nuts.
Let me tell you, for you listeners out there that love this format and love this show, like there's a ton of work being done behind the scenes just for, helping ensure the future of this program. As we all know, advertising is down across the board. So we're creating new opportunities to support the program. So, if anybody's pivotal and integral to this entire process, it's you, the listener. So when we see a comment like that, it's not like we just want to jump on it. We're just like, hey, it's just a show. We love each other. We all get frustrated with each other, and we move on with life. Bottom line.
On the show, on the air, has Oscar or I ever called you emotionally unstable?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Rob, has anyone ever called you emotionally unstable?
No.
John, I won't give a last name here, writes, I love the show, but the emotional instability of some people on the show is getting on the abusive side. Hi, I know who he's talking about. That's comes with the territory. I would like to point out that, I burn hot and fast, and the guys know this.
Yes.
And I know that I have emotionally unstable issues, but not to the point of dysfunction.
No.
What did Tony say not 40 minutes ago?
He said that Mike's mercurial.
No. He didn't say that. What he said is that when he's on the air, he is him. He said, I am me. And I think to a large extent on this show, all of us, we are ourselves. Yeah. And if you burn hot and fast, that's part of you. You can't change that.
Right.
Well, no, Pony has a good theory. What kind of medicine do you think he should be on? We've talked about this off air.
Oh, probably SSRIs.
Yes.
Well, Pony told me cyanide.
No. No, because you made an offhanded comment the other day where you said you didn't take your meds prior to the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, we should probably get on that, before the show regimen.
We should get on that.
And you're like, yeah, probably should.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And then
all right, I want to tell you, if you're me, if you would like this. Somebody is concurring with this thread.
Yeah.
That started because, we were frustrated and we were very over the top with it. I hear you. I don't know how much longer I can take it. I get berated often, too.
Oh.
Listening to TMOS on my way to and from work has always been an escape from being berated.
What are you getting yelled at
Douchebag.
about, dude?
You're berating me right now in a public forum. That's hurtful. Does that connect with you at all? Okay? Everybody gets it from all different sides. It happens occasionally.
Yeah, but is it...
That hurt my feelings. He goes on.
Okay.
But now either Pony or Rob get blasted on what seems to be a daily basis. They up on a daily basis.
Guys.
Sorry, it's true.
I'm going to give you some perspective. And look, I think this all comes
and often, let me just finish
the
spot here. And often TMOS doesn't seem like an escape anymore. I've never billed this show as an escape.
No.
I never have.
We're a podcast.
We are what we do. We're an inch deep and a mile wide. Mm-hmm. We cover everything from politics to sports to pop culture to all of our personality flaws, and berating each other is part of that. If you're having trouble escaping, I'd look at the man in the mirror. This is I'm using this one example to share with all the people that feel like that. Now, and I also don't want to go down the road of saying they're all trolls. I'm going on the assumption that they are listeners who are really expressing themselves.
I know this listener. I know the comment. I think he's having a bad day because it just didn't make sense to me.
I'm about a week behind. How often do we read that? Mm-hmm. I'm about a week. So this is somebody who hasn't even heard the most recent show. Mm-hmm. I'm about a week behind. And in the show I listened to today, Mike launched into Pony again. And you know what? I hit the source button on my car radio and switched. Fine.
Mike source?
No, different source.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And look, do I think that it's always yuck, escape is fun? No, I don't. Do I think that we have had a pretty good run? Yes, I do. Do I think that we are frustrated on a daily basis with things that happen that we really wish we didn't have to worry about?
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true as well.
Look.
And that comes out. And to be honest, Rob and Pony, has it not been happening lately a little more than it normally does?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And so it frustrates us and we get verbal about it. But I also understand when someone says that I always think I should be more mindful of that. I've always hated that about myself.
It's overrated.
I hate it about that. I try not to do it when I'm parenting, and I should try to do it more here. Because maybe, Oscar, maybe just maybe, if we cooked with sugar and not salt, perhaps we would get better results. But I don't know.
I'm telling you that I do that off air, and I get there's nothing. It's like I'm talking to a wall. This morning, I called Rob because he texted me 10 minutes before the show and said Tony Perkins is coming in. I said, could I get a little more than 10 minutes of a heads up? And he goes, yeah, it's just casual. Tony comes in all the time, no big deal. And I said, no, he doesn't. We haven't had Tony in months, if not, a full calendar year. I said, if you just said I forgot to tell you, I would have moved on. But when you tell me,
I did not tell him. So yeah, I guess I did forget to tell him.
I can't even admit it now. I guess I did.
Did you guess you did, or did you?
I forgot to tell him.
All right, I'm just curious.
Was that so painful?
No.
But when you're weaving long sentences that make zero sense, that's what fires me up. Where I'm like, dude, just tell me you forgot and let's move on with life.
We've had a bit of a run with that, and it's frustrating and it's difficult. And I think that when we do it too much of anything is bad.
I agree.
And this included. So I think no matter what happens going forward, we have to take a 2-day moratorium on berating anyone.
All right.
Thank you very much. A 2-day moratorium. Pony, what do you think of that?
I think that's great.
Yeah, it'll get us to the weekend.
2 days or 2 shows?
That's funny.
I'll have to think about that, Rob. Anyway, we'll take a break and come back with, let's see.
Something.
We're running short on time. I don't know what's happened today's show. Damn it!
Oh, it's your paisan, Paulie. I know it's been a long time since you heard from me, but the boss sent out a proclamation that we all have to listen to. Now, he wants you to share the show. That means let your friends tell their friends and their other friends that the Mike O'Mara Show is on the air. And they can go to TMOS.com to check out the bonus show. And they can go on the TikTok and the Instagram for snippets of the show. Do it today, the boss asked you. And let your friends be a friend of ours. Capiche? We now return you to the man, the myth, the legend, Mike O'Mara.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. If you need an afternoon reset, do yourself a favor and snag 5 minutes for a Dadgrass toke break. They've also got Mom Grass joints as the perfect pick-me-up to spark your creative flow. Do it in the afternoon while you listen to the Donnie Simpson Show. Or the original Dadgrass joints to quiet your mind after your 9 to 5. Dadgrass is legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mind. Their 100% organic pre-rolled joints are very low in THC and they're high in CBD, so you can enjoy the effects of CBD while keeping a clear head. And if you want the toke without the smoke, Dadgrass also has a CBD tincture made with the same high-quality hemp. It's easy to dose and the effects come on smooth. Or try the Dadgrass gummies, the best on the market. All the mellow goodness, no smoke required. Dadgrass will leave you in a euphoric mood. All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Right now, Dadgrass is offering TMOS listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. Remember, man, that's dadgrass.com/TMOS. We just have a short break here. I'll leave it to Tony, to Pony, and to Rob because we flapped our gums and we did all the talking there. And I welcome you guys
counterpoint
on the other side and with unvarnished.
Yeah,
I'd like to know because I want to know. Yeah. I think it's fat. And there is Pony's not going anywhere. Rob's not going anywhere.
It is what
and
it is.
How
can we help?
No, I don't want to frame it that way. I would rather say the floor is yours, and obviously, Rob, you're the day-to-day participant, so you can direct the conversation. I'll
start by saying this: anyone who thinks that what is going on is the result of emotional instability or any sort of unhappy work environment, I'll say this again. Mike and I just celebrated 31 years together. If it was untenable, if it was really, really a problem, I wouldn't still be here.
Yeah.
You know, it's
you pull out Tony Perkins.
Me not happy.
Can I know it's your floor. I'm going to interject for a second. This does involve off-air communicating. And if you witnessed a year of off-air communications, both verbal and text between me and Rob, I think that would make it really clear as to what the nature of the relationship is.
You would understand. And it, again, Mike says he plays a role. I also play a role. The show is the show, and it's a big slice of our real life, but it's not real life, and it's not even close to real life. And I'm glad that the way it's presented by all of the principals is a thing that you enjoy. And let me tell you something about real life. There are parts of real life that you enjoy. There's parts of real life you don't enjoy. And we tend to try anyway to present a sampling of real life.
Yes.
And there are going to be some people, and I know this from way back, some people dig conflict and unhappiness. There's a certain segment of the population out there that loves when all this goes down. But there's a certain population that doesn't. And you know what? If you have to hit fast forward 20, 30 seconds, do it, because we're still going to be here and we're still going to give you the best show we've got. And guess what? We're not going anywhere. Okay? We're here.
It does amuse me when people will put that out in a public forum.
Right.
And what they're doing, they're hypocrites because they're doing in their own mellow way.
Yeah.
The exact example of what we do when we berate each other here. Or when I berate you or
Pony hit the button.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be talked about.
Maybe it's over.
They want to let it out there. So just
Mike, can you restate your point? We actually had a small audio drop out there.
Did we lose him, or is he just
no,
cycling
I think
it
he
down?
might have dropped off. Hang on.
Okay.
He's still connected.
Is this global? No, there's a bunch of construction
I'll
going
continue
on.
my point while we get him back. Is I still don't like you, Oscar.
Yeah, I just... But will you? Is there a level of you can understand my frustration?
I absolutely
when
can.
I called you this morning,
absolutely,
and you flim-flam me instead of just saying I forgot to tell you. I did tell Mike, I did tell Pony, but I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
You could have just said that.
You're right,
and I would be like, cool, be there in 10 minutes.
Right, and
that's it.
Okay, you know what?
I'm asking, just tell me the truth.
That's all you want.
No varnish, so I can get to another spot. That's it. Mike's calling.
Here he is.
Pone.
Hi, Mike.
Still doing the show?
Yes, we're still on the air.
All right, I'm going to give you this, and this is where. So I'm looking at a lack of any kind of connectivity whatsoever. Now,
yes.
With that said, I should point out to you, this is why I'm calling.
You're still on camera.
Yeah, you're on camera.
You're still on camera. We see you flapping and talking. Yes.
We haven't lost connectivity.
No.
Just on the audio, the telos. Can you reconnect with him, Matt?
I am trying to reconnect with him. Yeah, try to connect to us because my end is saying that we can't connect to you.
So you got to reconnect to him because you're firewall.
So reconnect,
I'll do that.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I thought he was connected, but the fidelity was down. Zip doesn't sound so good today.
Tell him what's going on. Yeah, so that's all it is.
I
It's
understand.
Just tell me, because it's such empty calories to try to suss out like what the truth is. Like, I just want to move on with my life, and if you forgot, you forgot.
Yeah.
But telling me that, no, it's just, he swings by anytime. Like, what is going on here? We don't have anybody coming to the studio without, letting everybody know. And if you told Mike and Pony, you just missed out on me. I get it.
Yeah.
Hi, you're back.
There he is.
You're back.
You're back.
He has to plug in his IFBs.
Yeah. Hook up to the wires.
But I get what you're saying. People should know.
Yeah.
When we read those comments, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
We can hear you.
All right. Note to self: reconfigure studio to have Zip One main broadcast connection line, not 16
right
feet
next
away
to
from where.
What if we got you like one of those grabbers that old people have at a grocery store? And
no. He's
actually, I have a table right here to my right now
you
that
can
I
put it
just
right
put
there.
in yesterday,
Perfect.
and I can put it
Boom,
right there,
bam.
and it'll be fine as wine. So anyway, we're we got to wrap this up, but I'm just curious, what did I miss?
Oh, I asked. I said, I took over the segment, and I said, just tell me the truth.
That's all he wants.
That's all I want. I don't need a preamble. That's a fake excuse. If you tell me the truth, I'm not going to waste calories trying to figure out
empty calories.
If you know you're lying or you're not lying, or I don't know what's happening.
All right. And did our friend Mr. Bloom have anything to?
Not a syllable.
Bloom, what do you say?
No, I think that we have been down this road many times before, especially like going back to like the Japan incident.
Yeah.
And, I think it's, to a degree, it's all part of the show. But, I mean, these guys are not as horrible as they might seem. They're pretty horrible, but not that horrible.
All right.
So,
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. Matt, do you, and be honest here, do you think any other workplace in America would deal with as many gaffes as we have put together collectively as a team?
Probably not, but I think that there are certain jobs that lend themselves to more opportunity for gaffes, but that's a really technical discussion. But, I think that calling someone and letting someone know that there's a guest that's going to be on, is that technical or is that just human? No, I think that's human error.
Yeah.
Now let me weigh in with mine.
Yes.
I don't doubt for 1 second. I am not offering this as an excuse, but I would say an operation that was larger with a few more layers.
Yeah.
Could even be more of a problem, but I don't think it would be. I think if there was an ability to delegate and have people just have more ass covering where
when
you
Maddie
would have more redundancy.
was here, things were humming along.
She was brilliant,
very capable,
very good.
Yeah.
And she was assertive.
Yeah.
And we desperately need that piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And who knows? We're always looking to improve the operation.
Maybe they need to be mommied.
They do. I think hiring someone, male or female,
female at this point,
or whatever the pronoun is you wish to use.
Yes.
To come in to the environment and in not a supervisory
Barb Moody
capacity.
No.
Barb, we could use you.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Get
over here, Barb. Get over here.
We just need you 4 hours in the morning. Make sure everybody's doing their thing.
Thank you for that level of psychotherapy. And Ian Cubitt, bite it,
Mike. Because we're running so late, I want to warn you. The upcoming promo is very brief. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Very good.
Hey everybody, this is Carrie Underwood, wishing you a very happy Easter.
Thank you, Carrie. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Love those legs. Keep working out. This podcast, I'm sorry,
nice
Groove Life.
Stems.
This podcast is sponsored by Groove Life. Just put the mower on my driveway for an hour.
We don't hear it.
We don't hear it.
Thank you. This podcast is sponsored by Groove Life. It's 2023. Are you still using the same wallet from 2003? Well, now is the time to update your wallet game. The Groove Wallet is a sleek, low-profile wallet engineered for everyday use. One simple thumb motion perfectly fans out up to 6 cards for easy access to find everything you need. And with its durable, high-quality aluminum outer shell, this wallet is unlike any wallet I've seen. And with Groove Life's 94-year no BS warranty, the Groove Wallet is the last wallet you will ever need. Personally, we all love ours, and you're going to love yours. Here's what I want you to know. It's time to bring your wallet into the 21st century. Head to groovelife.com/TMOS and use promo code TMOS for 20% off all Groove Life products. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code TMOS for 20% off your order. One last time, promo code TMOS for 20% off your order. Just click the button on our website, and we thank you. Wrong sound.
Hello. Upside down.
Roll over, roll it, roll it, roll it, and you roll it. Flip, flop, and fly.
The flip side. sorry.
Hey, everybody, this is Carrie Underwood, wishing you a very happy Easter.
Mike, history in Major League Baseball yesterday. Are you familiar with a Padre by the name of Manny Machado?
Oh, yeah. He's been around a few teams. Manny Machado.
He was the first person to be ejected thanks to the new pitch clock rule.
Hey, all right.
That's a strikeout. There's a violation. Ron Culpa just rung up Manny Machado. We're on the clock here this year, and that's an automatic strike, and it happens to be strike 3. Here comes Bob Melvin. And somebody's been ejected. Looks like Machado. The inning just ended on a pitch timer violation with Manny Machado at the plate, and now it looks like his day may be done. That's an automatic strike 3. Off to a rocket start in San Diego.
It's complete there.
I don't understand.
I get it.
Yep.
Manny Machado, the way Rob set it up made it sound like it was a penalty against the pitcher. It wasn't. No. It was a penalty against the batter. The way you set it up was a little vague, but it sounds to me like if the batter is in the box dicking around and he gets out and he doesn't dig in, they automatically call a strike. And I don't know whether that is not an ejection based on
it's a strike.
He was ejected. No, he was ejected
because he complained.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. But that's the first time that it happened since they it only took 2 games, 3 games?
But it wasn't an ejection that the
ejection was a byproduct of
a byproduct.
Yes.
The strike was what the new rule is.
Yeah. Can I?
The ejection was not.
Just to clarify, passive sports fan here. I admit it.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding of the new pitch count or the pitch clock in Major League Baseball to make the sport faster.
Yes,
is that I honestly only thought that the pitcher was at the clock's mercy.
Obviously, if the batter is dicking around and not getting into the box, he can get an automatic strike.
That's the technical term.
I'm going to go back and look at the video, but I'd like to do a deeper dive on the rule and see what's going on with that, because I think it's kind of fun. I mean, more and more reason for guys to. That's a guy that's just slowing the game down with all of his little twitches and touching his equipment and all that stuff.
Yesterday's national game was 22 minutes after commercials.
Nationals game. Yeah.
Sam Rem, let us know what the story is. He's a big Nationals fan.
All right.
Team was.
Mike, are you familiar with NIL deals? I had to Google this morning.
Yes.
No. Yes. Name, image.
NIL.
Stands for name, image, and license.
Pay these kids. Okay. College kids.
College kids.
NIL.
And you know what? This is such a cool story. Lady Hawk Caitlin Clark, star of the DGH.
Yeah.
Star of the Lady Hawkeyes basketball team. There's one NIL deal she did not take.
Caitlin Clark could have made a lot more money in NIL deals, but she chose to reject one particular deal. Why? When the NCAA passed NIL deals back in 2021, the Coralville Community Food Pantry reached out to her about helping out with an effort to feed the hungry. The food pantry's plan was to pay Caitlin following her service, but she rejected the offer. She insisted that she do it for free. Last year during March Madness, she came up with the idea to hold a donation drive, raising nearly $22,000 for the pantry. And this year, Clark raised another $16,000 for the pantry in just 1 week. As Clark makes history on the hardwood, she continues to make just as large of an impact in her community.
So she turned down a huge deal to give money back to Coralville.
That's cool.
Which is pretty
wonderful,
awesome.
But who's reading that news story?
Oh, some wackadoo on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was carried by CBS Sports.
Yeah, I was like, somebody picked it up. I'm going to send this to Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
So Caitlin's doing a really nice job. So real happy to say so. He said. Mike, why didn't they give that story to Steve Bridges?
Mike, this is actually read by a new CBS Sports anchor named Scooter.
Scooter. Hi. So we're really excited about the Lady Hawkeyes. Come on now. Let's go. Masters Week starts tomorrow. You know, a tradition like any other. A tradition like any other.
Scooter, are you enjoying your time in the booth with Jim Nance?
Oh, yes. Good time. Look at that putt. Boy, oh, boy. I tell you, if that wind comes up, his head's going to blow all over the golf course.
Let's close with this. I don't normally close with Seth Meyers, but sometimes he tells a joke that's so in the pocket, I had to share it.
Former President Trump was arraigned inside the New York County Criminal Court in Lower Manhattan, and I think it really says something that the craziest part of that sentence is still former president. That guy was the president of the country. If you asked for the manager at Best Buy and that guy came over, you'd say, no, the manager.
That's all I got for you today.
All right. Hey, our thanks to Tony Perkins.
Yay, Tony.
Check him out on News 4 in the mornings at 5 a.m. and on the afternoon radio show of Mr. Donnie Simpson. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. We'll be back with a brand new episode tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. For Rob Spiewak, Pony Boy, Matt Bloom, and Oscar Santana. This is Michael Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
If you're waiting for a hug, you might want to pack a lunch.
The archers are ready, sire.
Not the archers. My Scots tell me their archers are miles away and no threat to us. Arrows cost money. Use up the Irish. The dead cost nothing.
Hello.